All right, all right. Yeah, I guess my internet don't want to cooperate with me today.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, oh, man. Just all type of stuff today. It's just one of those days, man. Just one of those days, I guess.
yeah,
You
man.
know, I have to cut that out. What's going on, bro?
Oh man, nothing much, man. Watching the world turn and turn and turn.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, man. A lot of stuff going on in the world, man. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man. Especially going on with COVID and all the other stuff that's happening. Sorry about the little delay today. We're out, trying to do some last minute stuff. Saw a deal at Lowe's, man. Couldn't pass it up.
Chasing deals. That's
So
it.
yeah, man. So it took a little longer than expected. But we here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. So
So
so we gonna get. Go ahead, bro.
no, I was going to say, man. Welcome to Yah'm podcast, man. Yeah, let's get into some stuff, man.
Yeah, man. So what we gonna do tonight, man? We're gonna do something a little different, man. It's something that we set it up, try to do last week, but we're gonna do it this week. So we're going to react to a video from David Banner and Waka Flakka, and both of them pertain. The first one we're gonna do is David Banner, and he was talking about really group dynamics. He said some things I agree with, some things I don't agree with, but it all, within the black culture, a black community is something that gets discussed, in one way or the other. So yeah, man, we're gonna jump right into this, so we have context of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Let's
Okay.
see here. All right.
Psychology. It's not business because people psychology. It's not business because people say, well, you got to give black people the keys to business. David Banner, you a multimillionaire without music. How can you teach black? Well, the truth is, I can teach you how to do it. But if you don't like black people subliminally, if we do a black movie, black people did do movies. Even example, think about it. The A-list white artists actors, you can't pay them to be in a black movie. Do you see them in black productions? No, you don't see them in black
You can
productions.
give them 40 million, they won't do a
Right,
Tyler Perry movie.
right, because they want to keep their fame and their money in their community. And the amazing thing that I learned, bro, is it's supposed to be that way. People tell me, David Banner, you don't talk about racism anymore. You only talk about white supremacy. I don't see a problem in racism anymore. Watch this. Race is the root word. Root is the root word. Ism and ist is the act of the word, right? So white people are supposed to take care of white people first. They're supposed to get themselves the Grammys first, the movies first, because don't lions take care of lions? Tigers take care of tigers. It's not white people's racism that's the problem. It's black people's lack of racism. We're supposed to be racist too, and we're not.
Wow.
Interesting, man. Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot
Interesting,
of
man.
stuff that has to be unpacked in
Hmm.
that whole converse. Well, that short statement.
Hmm.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
get into it.
Yeah, man. First, let's talk about something that it's something that that I always thought about. You know what I'm saying, when it pertains to the industry, right? To the industry when it comes to showing black faces and white people having their own shows. You know what I'm saying? It's no secret that that in order for actors to make money, white people have to watch it. Like that's just not, what I'm saying. I think of a show that I was watching that was pretty good, right? It was Luke Cage, right?
Mhm,
And Luke
mhm.
Cage was a great show. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't have the support. You know what I'm saying? I think it shows like Friends. People always compare Friends and Living Single. You know what I'm saying? I think those are like the perfect two examples of how, Friends lasted, forever. You know what I mean? Living Single only lasted, I think, like 5 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's some validity to what he's saying in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really not a secret if you're paying attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Since that's the bullet point number one. What I'm saying that we're going to point out is what David Banner's saying. I can't disagree because we see how the world shapes, right? We understand that one in the United States, what that ratio looks like when you break down um, culture slash race in economics. Um, that I always tell a lot of some of my white friends and so forth. I always ask them the question, well, have you ever shopped at you know a black owned store? And most of the time it's a no. And some of them like, oh well, I went to this one place. Yeah, one place. But imagine how many white stores we walk into every day. And when you look at the dynamics of like, you know, Mexicans, right? They will go find a Mexican store. Indians, same thing. You can go down the line. Cubans, you can just go down the line and you watch how they do economics and how African Americans, how we view economics is not based off of um, culture or race in that sense. It's more or less based off of um, who has the cheapest goods.
Yeah, man. I think that's culturally, what I mean, we've always collaborated, with those that identify as white, right? So you had to, I mean, if you go back in history and you read, as soon as enslaved people are freed, they start moving west, and then you get Europeans who come and the Europeans start living with the Africans because the Africans who would become American, knew how to farm the land. You know what I'm saying? I think there's always been that, that aspect of where black people not felt the need to go into white spaces, but, felt the need to mimic, or you know what I'm saying. That's what, and you know what Dave Banner's what he's talking about is that the group dynamics that we have and how we have to, we have to be mindful where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, look, you shop black and that stuff, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but it's because I mean he said a lot. You know what I'm saying? So trying to parse everything. I'm gonna leave the entertainment part out of it, right? Because I'm thinking of entertainment. Because I said, I always think and say that when it comes to entertainment, especially with black shows, you know what I mean. There are more black people who watch Friends than there are white people who watch Martin. For example. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? But the racist part, I kind of disagree with them on because, again, we are an ethnic group. We're not a race. You know what I'm saying? I get what he's saying. You know what I mean? Is that, hey, look, and it's something that I always said is that, racism is, there's racism, and then being a racist is an action that takes an action. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Ism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But go ahead, John. I don't want to filibuster. Yeah.
No. You're fine. So see, I didn't look at it that way. So I immediately, so the point that you then got to was where I already was going like, okay, I get what he's saying, because now I can sit back and take that like what he's saying, and when you simulate it in real life, talking to African Americans about economics and how they shop and how they view uh, black businesses, it's it's a real negative connotation behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like like, and on top of that, it's no, we do it without even a second thought. So the point, so it was a comment. Well, someone posted something about 2 weeks ago, and they were talking about this same point. Um, about, why don't black people, you know, shop with um other blacks when it comes to, what I'm saying, because we have restaurants. Okay, well, why do you want to go to Chick-fil-A or a place like that? Why can't you just find a black restaurant that sells the same thing or similar? And in the comments, man, you went down the comments, man. The first thing they say is, "Oh, they charge too much. Oh, I'm not paying $20 um for a $6 meal." Keep in mind, when you dive deep into that comment and you really think about what they're saying, so you will go to a restaurant, and I'm going to use Chick-fil-A, right? Chick-fil-A spent this time or political money to fight against things that will oppress groups, right? And you would then spend your money there rather than spend an extra few dollars to a person that will not oppress you. Which to me, when you dive into that is a part of our cognitive dissonance in our group financially. And I'm gonna let you chime in from there. Then
Yeah, no. I think you encapsulated perfectly what I was, what I was thinking. You know what I mean? But trying to say it, yeah, there is and I think that's what Dave Banner is saying. Like, hey, man, look, we have to be deliberate when we're talking about shopping black and supporting black businesses and things of that nature. And yeah, and we always, like I remember there was a comedian and she was talking, I don't know if it was last year, 2 years ago, but she was talking about black, like how she would never, why she don't support black businesses, you know what I'm saying? Because they open, it was like a Jamaican restaurant, but culturally, I mean, come on, man, like if you go to a Jamaican restaurant, you know what it is, you know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I mean? She was saying how she wouldn't support black businesses, you know what I'm saying? But people were saying like, man, but you'll get the same crappy service from McDonald's and you'll visit McDonald's all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what David Banner was saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he's saying that we got to be racist. What's up, brothers? As soon as I figure out what's up, Carlos, what's happening, brother? Yeah, that we gotta be more deliberate in supporting black businesses. You know what I'm saying? When you're being racist, you know what I mean? You're thinking about your race first, and that's what he was saying about the comments about. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, white people are still the majority, man. You know what I mean? They're still the majority, and they hey. Yeah, man, and they're still the majority. So so obviously, yo, you call them ghosts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What up, Jake?
Oh man,
What up, Brian? Yeah, man.
Chilling, man.
Yeah. We're
Had to get situated.
okay. Yeah, we're going over this the David Banner video, but I think that's what he was saying about about being a racist, you know what I'm saying? Like, like being deliberate about how we shop, how we support, number one, number two, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, sometimes if you have to pay a little bit more, pay a little bit more for good service, you know what I'm saying? That's what he was saying,
Let's revisit that video
The
again.
video? Yeah. Let's play
Yeah.
it
No,
again.
I saw it, but
Okay.
go ahead.
I wanted to do it for anybody that came in late,
Oh, all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
and for everybody to give context,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
we went right at it as soon as we came in.
Yeah. It's
All right.
only a minute. So let me let me bring it up on screen again. And then yeah. All right. Let's see here.
Psychology. It's not business. Because people say, well, you got to give black people the keys to business. David Banner, you a multimillionaire without music. How can you teach black? Well, the truth is, I can teach you how to do it. But if you don't like black people subliminally, if we do a black movie and you know black people do movies, even example, think about it. The A-list white artists, actors, you can't pay them to be in a black movie. Do you see them in black productions? No, you don't see them in black productions.
You give them $40 million, they won't do a Tyler Perry movie.
Right, because they want to keep their fame and their money in their community. And the amazing thing that I learned, bro, is it's supposed to be that way. People tell me, David Banner, you don't talk about racism anymore. You only talk about white supremacy. I don't see a problem in racism anymore. Watch this. Race is the root word. Ism and ist is the act of the word, right? So white people are supposed to take care of white people first. They're supposed to give themselves the Grammys first, the movies first, because don't lions take care of lions? Tigers take care of tigers? It's not white people's racism that's the problem. It's black people's lack of racism. We're supposed to be racist too, and we're not.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah. So you want to finish your thoughts and then let B chime in?
Nah, Brian, go ahead. I'm gonna get to this comment
No,
by brother Carlos here. He said we're so brainwashed as black people now compared to 50s, 60s, and 70s. These are new Negroes. There is a lot of these new Negroes out there, man, who are brainwashed when it comes to supporting the black community. You know what I'm saying? I know you feel it down there and where you at, brother Carlos. But yeah, there is a lot of brainwashing going on. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, that's a lot of fast things I can talk about, but I think we are I think we are we racist, but we racist against our own kind a little bit because it's a privilege to go to. I mean, not to me, but in the world of black world, it's a privilege to move out where white people at. It's a privilege to go to white people's schools. It's a privilege to eat at white people's establishments. And we look at that like, oh, like when you talk about it, they go, oh man, I ate where the white people at. Like, oh, like it's a high thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that we should talk like that. We should get our communities good that they want to come in our area. It was once upon a time they were sneaking from their areas, coming into our areas, being in and around our blues and our eateries and eating from us because we had the good entertainment. We still got the good entertainment. They like our entertainment, but they don't like that's all they want from us. They want our entertainment, and that's really all they want from black people, really. They don't want us on the other end. But as for us, we need to I think it's not so much this was that happened to us was our savior. And
you're gonna have to repeat that, Brian. You broke up.
I think we like this is systematically done to us because we got to feel that white people are our saviors, and we need them to do things. Without their handout, or without their talking to other white people, that we can't get it done. But we can get anything done without them, as long as we work within ourselves. But we need them. We need their approval. We need their everything with everything that's going on. But I think Dave Banner was right. Like we gotta get back to like our own, like not saying our own kind, but it is like we gotta support our own kind. We gotta look out for our own self, because on the other, for everybody else, look out for their own self. Like I was talking to like Jay when I was talking to you about um the NWACP and how Jewish people help out our community, but they really don't help us out. Really, they don't teach us the financial part of things. That's what I was saying. Like they don't teach us how to take our organization and our community and make us financially bigger. It's always they'll help us. We'll help you march. We'll fund you to do all them little things, but we won't fund you to get like your community into a higher bracket prosperity and stuff. Like, and only why I say that it shows that they ain't trying to do that, because they've been helping us for 60, 70 years now, and we're without football and rap and entertainment. We're our community. I mean, we're getting up in corporate world a little bit, but we can talk about tax breaks that they give to black women for being in corporate world. That's a whole nother thing.
Man,
That's why.
I pause you?
Go ahead, John.
Yo, man, I have to say, like, you really said some real dynamic stuff, right? You started off like really getting down to the nitty gritty, the class racism within our group. You know, me and Tay was talking about this a few days ago. You know what I'm saying? Which then reflected into what we seen in the Ohio race. You know what I'm saying? Like the despise of other poor people, or looking down on more working class because you live in close proximity, closer with other ethnic or racial groups, and because of that, you are then internalizing that, oh well, I don't want to offend them, and that thinking, when you kind of dive into it in a psychological way, it has always been the part that held us back from the growth, because it's the fear of actually talking about your actual black experience, right? Your grandmother's black experience, your grandfather's black experience, your mother's black experience, father, so on and so on. And
My bad.
be careful back there. and we are starting to see, and people are addressing this. You know, they refer to them as the Boule Negroes. And the other point that you were pointing out, and that's why I wanted to pause you, because now I end up forgetting. It was your ending point of talking about really approaching things in a way that we have to target our own group as much as we can. And man, me and Tay have been talking about this, and when you dive into a lot of the political numbers, how people are voting and so forth, this is what you're starting to see. You're starting to see the well-to-do or higher middle class black folk vote with other groups, which it doesn't really help their cousins, and it doesn't help their nieces and nephews. And we don't think about politics in that way, let alone business.
You're right. I think, not to cut you off, I'm just gonna add
No, I'm done.
to that thing. You gotta understand, this government, they plan in 100-year increments, and like you think like you dealing with something new, but it ain't. They've been starting this probably years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like I was telling people, you think the government stopped doing what they do? They never stop doing what they do. They just change the name. Like, you redline it. They changed the name of it. Like, they still do redlining, but it's different. It's a little different now. Like they still like you still can't go into some like HOAs. HOAs is ways that you stay your behind out of and taxes that you stay
Mhm.
your behind out of certain
Yeah, there are some HOAs
like you
that
can pay
try
the
to
you might can pay the mortgage.
yeah, that literally have in their HOA, not, black people that can't live there, like literally in 2021. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and
like
that's
it's different
real
thing.
in a lot of HOAs today.
Yeah, that would say it's a lot of things. It's like a lot of things they put like they might not say black, but they might say things that black people do. Like like you can't have like they'll say no cars on the lawn because they think black people and Spanish people do
Mhm.
that. Like you know what I'm saying? Or no pit
Mm-hmm.
bulls because they think black people got
Mm-hmm.
pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? Or like you know what I'm saying? They'll say little small wording little like that, but it describes everything that is a black culture that per se. So we
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want that. You
And
remember, you know, when you came down here a couple years ago, and the downtown you got baggy pants, fitted hats, or
mhm.
something like that. Your hat on turned backwards. There's blocking you from come. Basically saying if you're black, don't come in here. You
Mm-hmm.
dress urban, like we don't
Yeah,
want you in
coded
here. So,
language.
and
Yeah.
they knew, but majority, yeah, yeah, it was called the dress code effect, and they knew majority of their patrons was that was doing that was black.
Mhm.
So, but they took so much of a hit with money wise because black people weren't coming there. They just threw that out the window.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, let me
that aspect
let
of
me
our money here.
yeah. Let me jump in real quick because give context to what Brian's talking about. So if you read the history of covenants, your HOA, they were started to keep black people, but not just black people out. They were started to keep Irish people out and all types of different cultural ethnic groups who weren't racialized at the time. And then I was listening to this podcast, and they were talking about a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, Brian, about how there's language that's put into rental agreements to quote unquote, keep certain people out. So they'll say, you're not allowed to have a certain type of dog, you know what I'm saying? They'll say something about, I can't remember what was the other one, but the dog is the most common. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. The car, they'll say something about a car or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's still tied in. But I think where it ties into what David Banner was talking about is how deliberate, you know what I'm saying, a lot of these things are, you know what I'm saying. And I want to get to this comment because I think by Carlos, because I think it encapsulates what it is that we're talking about, right? Because really the problem within our community is that, you know what I mean, is a lot of negativity that's going on. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of negativity in the black community. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough black positivity. You know what I'm saying? That's going around, and we have allowed individuals like Candace Owens to have a space. You know what I'm saying? To paint black people in a certain light, and nobody challenged her, in the beginning. And then when you would challenge her, then you would still have black people like, well, she's right though. But yeah, she's not. You know what I mean? She's not. You know what I mean? Talking about black
Out of
people in a
context.
positive. Yeah, yeah, exactly. A lot of things out of context. So then you start having a lot of these other different, people who are talking about, all these people. But let me get to this comment. It's a long comment. It's from Carlos. It says, "Black folks are racist against our own kind," and we talk about that, the intercultural racism. You know what I mean? And that's what David Banner was talking about. Plus, we have a problem smiling at one another. That's true, man. I try to smile, get a little head nod or whatever. That's how tedious we are with each other. We could be doing the same thing our white counterparts be doing, and we will talk about our own products in a bad way, but can go to the Asians, white people, and they do it right. They brag about them. It's systematically, and the new Negro today. We can go as far back as 1945 with a Monahan law of the black family. A white man wrote it on how systematically the black woman gets over on the government. It's so much stuff we have to unpack with our own culture, with ourselves. Sometimes it seems like we're scared to move forward because of systematic slavery of the past. People tend to forget this racism will never end as long as there's, humanity, racism. Humanity, racism goes hand in hand. Black on black, white on black, everybody majority against people of color. So, yeah, that's pretty deep. Pretty deep there, Los.
Man, Carlos, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
I got to give Carlos, man, look. he needed that one because that was on fire.
Yeah, yeah. Los, hey, I'm gonna bring him on the show, man. You know, he a big gun nut, so you know. But he's a good brother, man. Good brother, good business owner, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? We lost Brian. You know, so but it goes to what David Banner was saying about black people being quote unquote racist. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that language. I really don't like that language, but you know what I'm saying? But I get what he's trying to say. You know what I'm saying? And that, we need to focus on the group dynamics, right? Because the census, we've seen that the census changed, right? So the census is saying that the country is getting more brown. So let me ask this question. So the census changed, right? Census saying that, hey man, look, the white people the people who identify as white, they'll still be the majority, but they're shrinking, right? Another group dynamic. So do you think that his comment is misplaced considering where we are going, in the future? What's up, Brian?
First, I'm gonna get off. I think that's a scare tactic to put fear in white people. One, I think they want to nudge something. I think that like the wording is a thing for white people. White people get scared easy. So if you say things like that to a white people, that scares them. Like they easily scared by saying something like that. So all that's gonna do is a bad effect. They're gonna try
things like, I'm sorry, I missed the word. What word?
Oh, like they basically dying off. Basically, it scares them. That's how they hear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying, when they say the census are, well, they think of, we dying off. Black people, going to run the world, and that's why, and they go into this tangent and they start doing scary stuff. When white people get scared, they start doing scary stuff. They start burning stuff, hanging people, shooting people, like, you know what I'm saying, because they scared. So like, I think that is a lot of things is used by media to nudge things they want to see happen. If they want they want white people in a certain or black people in a certain thing, they'll nudge something. They'll keep pushing it to get our feelings riled up. And I think, and everybody know white people are very scary when it comes to them not being on this earth that long, or them getting their like them getting out of like America not because theirs no more. They get scary when laws come in that takes away from their power and give it to other. They see it as giving it to other people. So I think that's a thing to scare them. And on the other thing, yeah, he's still right. He's still right, because if we got to be very mindful and political on our strategies of what we do. Because without that, it'll be a lot of us here, but we don't think the same. Like, we have the problem now. It's a lot of us, but we don't think the same no more. So it's hard to mobilize us now. It's hard to mobilize black people like they used to do in the 60s, because we don't all think the same. Some people on the Republican side, some people liberal, some people don't vote. Some people some people more, some people Muslims. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all like different minded instead of.
Well, I would say we still had I would say we still had the same issues in the 60s and the 50s and the 40s and the 30s. We people were still different. I mean,
but not as we all know who the enemy was back then. We all saw black people getting drugged down the street by who we saw. So we all know, even though we had different issues, we know we couldn't really trust them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but we don't got that problem no more. We don't got no clear view of an enemy now, of what our enemy is, who our enemy is. So we don't all know. Like, now we internal now, because we don't even know who our enemy is. We internal fighting. We don't even know who our enemy is no more.
Yeah. Let me get to John. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I know where listening to Brian, like, man, yeah, I hear this information all the time. What I'm saying on social media and so forth. And I kind of look at stuff like we have been so colonialized mentally that we don't understand we don't understand how cultural tribal thinking should go. And now, since we're out of the tribal age, more community thinking. And we forgot what that basis is. Um so all we really should be thinking about is, okay, well, replace tribal thinking with community thinking. It's literally the same thing. But you know, you're right when you're sitting here saying, like, we don't know who our enemy is because the money has infiltrated our group, which that was always the intention, right? When you're trying to escape poverty or you're trying to survive in a capitalistic society, you're going to go where the money is. And a lot of people in our group have find it more advantageous to do that than actually create something or go to school to become a doctor or something to give back to the community, because that doesn't pay as much as selling propaganda to your own group for their own demise. And we see this on full tilt since 2016. um and I think where what you were saying, like, I would like to replace, when you say media, it's not really media, it's right-wing media. And when you say the government, it's not really the government, it's people within the government of a certain party. But we paint, like, a lot of these wide brushes over a lot of these issues, which create, like, you can't find the enemy when you got a wider brush, right? And that's what we're seeing in society. For me, is that I see more black people buying into right-wing narratives today because we are looking at everything in a bigger scope than rather trying to narrow it down, finding the actual people that are using the tool of separation or disinformation or so forth. I think that's where we got to start being more targeted.
Yeah, I think that there is a lot. Like I said, historically, black people have always been I won't say a divided community, but we have been a community that has many different thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, you had Martin Luther King, you had Malcolm X, you had W.B. Du Bois, you had Booker T. Washington, you had, 30% of black people still voted for Richard Nixon. You know what I'm saying? We still had all of these different, fractions in the black community. We've always been that way. So I'll say, but there in this book right here, post traumatic slave syndrome, there's a good passage in here. I'm gonna read this real quick. It says, establishing strong leadership. And this book is written by Dr. Joy DeGruy. She has a bunch of stuff on YouTube. But she says, establishing strong leadership. The African American community can no longer afford to have their collective voice silenced with a single shot. We can't look to a few individuals to provide guidance and direction. We must begin to look to ourselves for leadership. This is not to suggest that we ignore the leaders we have, but rather to build communities of leaders so that the loss of one does not curtail for an instant our progress and growth. You know what I'm saying? And I greatly agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Is that, we can't, look to one person. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be many voices because there are many issues that, that we have to tackle. You know what I'm saying? Within our community. So, and that's what David Banner is getting at. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's many issues we have to tackle, and it's going to require many different voices and people who can tackle, different things. Yes, we had one common enemy in the, prior to the 60s, right? And that was outright, right? What I mean, overt, racism, what I mean, and bigotry. And right now, racism is subtle, but we also have issues of healthcare. We have issues in education. We have issues in economics. We have issues in housing. We have issues in the law, criminal justice system. We have all these other facets and issues, and there are many people who are tackling these issues. So, when it comes to the group, we have to pay attention to what's going on in the group to support the group. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, what I mean, whenever I see any type of Black Lives Matter slander, I don't, what I'm saying, like sometimes I have to speak up for it, but what I'm saying, because it's in a it's in bad faith, what I'm saying. And a lot of times it is coming from bad faith, what I'm saying. So yeah.
Oh man, I agree with that, because I see it all the time. And I had another Black person who asked me online, do I support Black Lives Matter? You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, why does that matter? And he went to the whole homophobic thing, the whole I mean, I don't want to say homophobic, but like, oh well, because they support LGBT, and I'm like, oh, like, why do you even care? Because when you really narrow it down, right, the message itself is literally trying to save your skin of which people find dangerous. And to me, it's just absurd when I hear certain people try to use that argument, because I don't get it. I just don't get it. How does that even affect you? Man, what are you doing, man? What? Where
I
Tay
hear you.
go? No, yeah, that's where I stand at. I'm just like, I ain't gonna be out there marching. I ain't the marching type. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you tell me that you know 50,000 KKK members are going to show up, and blah blah blah, and like this and they start like really doing some real damage, then I'm gonna be blunt, man. I'm gonna show up. That's just how I feel about it. But I ain't marching. That, like, you know it just, that's just where I'm at on that. But I'm not going to sit back and speak against skin, my skin tone. I'm just not going to do that.
Oh, my bad. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
Nah, I'll just make sure I'm in. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. You still in, man. Yeah, man. It's all this stuff again. When we're talking about like group dynamics and how we interact, with each other, man. It's always important to to be deliberate, man. To be deliberate about how we do things, and not let, again, it just goes back for me. It's just about positivity, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things that we see on TV is negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was telling somebody, I had a conversation earlier this week, and I was telling somebody, man, like, he was trying to compare Black Lives Matter to the KKK, and I mean, of course, he goes on the black on black crime thing, and 13% of the people commit 50% of the crime, all myths. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, you said that because you are fed that info, man. You are fed that info. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Let me see.
That's why I say. That's why I say media is the problem. Media, media been created to do this. It's created to keep you, to feed them something, to be angry at us, and feed us a whole narrative. I mean, our narrative probably is close to truth though, on what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
like it's more to truth than what, like how they target like the white people or audience. Like, all right, like this, like medium. This is why I say media is the problem. Have you ever heard a commercial use jingles? Like a lot of jingles can sell to white people. No, they very blunt. They talk they talk the commercial out. But on our end, they gotta jingle us and put a little ribbon with it to sell us something.
Yeah,
But on that,
so my question is, sorry I cut you off. Like, but I gotta chime in. Like, if you're saying media, right?
yes,
Okay, now you're in. Like, I need you to be intentional of like the point. So, what media is expressing these this kind of information?
no, I'm just saying media as a whole was made that way. They did this thing back in 1950, 1940. This dude was on the radio, and he had a show, and he said aliens is coming, and people got so fearful, even though it was a fake broadcast. They got so fearful of aliens coming, thought it was real, that people start suiciding, whatever. So the government, I'll get the research for you later. That the government saw this and say, darn, how much power that broadcast had, we can use that. And then they took that. Then the TV came into what's name. This was the time on radio. Then TV came in. It start advertising stuff and using this stuff to advertise it and sell products. That's why businesses use 50 billion and spend 50 or 500 billion on advertising, because they know advertising gets people to buy stuff. If it didn't work, they want to spend that much money on media. That's what I'm saying. Like, they know media, the power of media in the mind, and they know our mind. They know colors. They know psychology behind it. They use psychology, like red, yellow, and different things mean different things. That's why fast foods use that thing. They know our mind. That's what I'm saying. Media in a whole is used for war tactics, but we don't look at it as a war tactic.
Yeah, let me bring my brother Carlos in, man. Carlos, coming, brother. I had to invite you in because you made a pretty good comment, and I appreciate you coming in, brother. But go ahead and chime in on the conversation. You've been listening on.
Yeah, you hear me out there, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
brother.
Okay. And I agree with what he said about the media, but also remember this. People tend to forget this. I just sent you something on your text message, Tay, about the Monahan law. Do you realize this was already systematically done back in the 50s and 60s, guys? I have a degree in Black history and European culture. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The 50s and 60s, they already knew with the systematically how to break Black people and separate. Everybody knows this. They preach it all the time on the Roland Martin show. They preach all the stuff. But what the key is out of all of this, they know it. Some of the people that's quote unquote woke, that's why I don't use that word woke all the time, because you're not. If you was woke, you want to look down on the people that you're trying to help. Always remember that. The same thing, you biting the same hand, that's the same color, that's the same blood that your same ancestors gave to you.
Yeah, and I think that's what David Banner was getting at, when he was talking about, the being racist. Black people gotta be deliberate, you know what I'm saying? Because it has been systematic, you know what I'm saying? And
since the 60s. I mean
systematic since the end of slavery. Let's be honest,
but you got to think about this. Tay, you got to think about this. If you going back to slavery, think about how they constructed it all the way up till now. You got colleges, like I said. Before colleges, everybody that's on this panel right here, grandmothers, great-grandmothers was working in factories. They was working in plumbers, welders, carpenters. We had more money then, back in the Tulsa era, than where we are now. The money is flowing now because if I can make fools out of all of you up here and make money off of you and give you money, what you need to support Black people for when I'm giving you money to support your family home? Why would I? Who needs $1 billion for their family where you can easily feed 100,000 people for $100,000 in your own neighborhood?
Mm.
People tend to forget this. Think about it. What it says in the Bible about going to, you have a harder chance going through the eye of a needle, if you're rich and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Think about it. If you sitting up here and you don't see the bigger picture, and that's what we're not seeing. I mean, that's what we're seeing, but we denying ourselves. You got the Cardi B's out there, you got the Megan Thee Stallions, you got the Roland Martins, you got the DL Hughley's. Everybody's a good talker, but when they time to put up money to help they brother man or help their society, they're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop lying to yourself. People are liars. When you sit up here and you got DL Hughley, Steve Harvey, all these guys that's got $200-300 million, I haven't seen one of them think yet, even Jay-Z, Nas, any of them, say, hey, let's buy a huge patch of this American land and let's build on it and make our own black industries.
Yeah, nah, you getting into black capitalists and black
Think
capitalists.
about it though.
Look,
But think about it though, Tay.
yeah.
What do you see that we don't see? Think about it. You have the poor people, poor African Americans or middle class. We're the ones that's going out there, quote unquote, making America great. But then you got these people that made all this money. And don't get me wrong, they worked hard for it and everything. But to twist this up, look what Jeff Bezos do. Look at what Steve Jobs, Gates, all them do. You don't see them. You don't see them. What they did, they took their money, they gave it to other people to work with. Philanthropy, they did it all. We do not do that. Name something that you visibly seen. Any brothers on here, y'all three brothers, name anything visible that you seen any rapper, singer, anybody did in the communities that you're at or elsewhere. Name one. Name one that you can visibly go to.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get John and Brian in here. Go ahead.
We got Yeezys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get off this panel. I'm gonna get off.
Yeah, all right, bro.
No, man, no. Brian started it off, man, and he was hitting some good points. And man, Carlos, like you just knocking it out the park, man. And me and Tay, we always talk about this kind of stuff. And Van Jones got $100 million
right
from Jeff Bezos, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people don't put it in perspective and understand that what Van Jones been raising money before that point with his own organizations, but people don't realize what he was doing was increasing his wealth in the process. That's what he's doing, and he's using. I always butcher this word. Don't tease me. Philanthropy. I always butcher the word.
Philanthropy. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, and this is how it goes for black capitalists, right? Jay-Z and Will Smith is starting a company to help people, first-time buyers, buy homes at a low cost, but they're trying to they're getting paid off of that. So it's not really to help the community. Will some people pass through that door? Yeah, some people are going to pass through that door, but for the most part, it ain't helping us because what we need is not a handout. We need our money back.
Yeah,
we need our money back that we sat back and gave up our labor at a cheap cost or free.
Right. Reparations.
That is the problem, that a lot of people aren't putting these pieces together, and and as we are reaching a peak in our community, we starting to see these people with bad faith out in the forefront, and they're just doing it blatantly now. But Carlos, like you were pointing out, the middle class blacks are the ones who are allowing that.
Yeah. Oh, Brian. Yeah, Brian. You got you.
Because think about this, guys. Think about this. Now I want y'all to really think about this. And like I said, you know how I am, Tay. You already know how crazy I am. This is the
Yeah.
point. Look at now. This is four brothers right here. Four brothers right here that are intelligent brothers. I see books in the back. I see knowledge on every of these brothers right here. You guys right now should have thousands of people listening to your conversation right now. Think about this. I want you to think about what I just said. Everybody knows y'all been doing this. I've been following y'all. I talked to Tay. I follow y'all because I'm like, these are brothers that have their heads on their shoulders. They see what I see. You think about it. How many people that came in here right now that's in y'all blog that has wrote out anything? You know why? You know why is that? Because when you have to care, you have to care. You have to care about your people. Think about this. As long as I got social media out there and young black women can shake their ass and wear long eyelashes, as long as they got men out there that's gonna look at that all the time, growth all the time, and make money off of social media, this right here is more important.
Right.
People got to see the forest before the trees, brother. And that's the problem. That's why I said when I'm on a panel, I'm like, now you're lying. And when I call you a liar in your face, don't get mad because you're lying to me. Because you're not going to do the same goddamn thing that I'm talking about. You're willing, think about it. Like you said, Van Jones got $100 million from the white man, Jeff Bezos. But Jeff Bezos set up here on national television with his white counterpart next to him, remember? And said, I would like to thank the Amazon employees for doing
Employees,
it.
putting in that labor.
Now think about this. What did that white lady next to him do? She opened her mouth wide like, I can't believe you said that. But guess what? He know he got black people and poor white people by the balls. No, you need a job.
They laughed in the room, actually.
They laughed in the room.
They laughed in the room. And that should have told, that should have told the American people what the capitalism system has done to everyone.
Yeah, but if you can get enough brothers not to care, that's the key. If you can get enough brothers, like I said on here, if you can get 1,000 people on your streaming app right now with us four brothers right here, intelligent brothers, these people do not want to listen to truth.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian. Yeah, Brian, go ahead, Brian.
I'm not thing. It ain't that like if you go back to all our conversations, I always said this from the beginning. It ain't that we don't care. People ain't on the same frequency as you, so they don't even know what you saying. They don't even get what you said. They don't even get what Jeff Bezos said. Jeff Bezos, like I told Tay and John the other day. We going into a whole nother like what's
reconstruction.
That thing? Phase?
Reconstruction. Yeah.
Yeah,
it is. We are in the third reconstruction.
We going into a phase that humans about to be dead out from. They don't need you no more. They need computers. They're gonna use you to bring in computers. Because you know why? They just did this thing the other day about people don't want to come back to work. They're like, we can't get people to come back to work. So what they really saying is we need a way to bring in computers. We're gonna let y'all be the reason why we bring in computers because y'all don't want to work. So it's gonna really co-sign on us bringing in computers to take y'all job from y'all because y'all don't want to come back to work. They've been wanting to get computers, but they've been wanting to get computers into the world, but we wasn't accepted of it. Like, no, we don't want to. You don't want no computer flipping your burger because you want human. Because we got a thing with seeing human to human contact. We've been raised in that. But this new generation, they ain't targeting us because we too old. We from that old generation. They targeting the young kids that used to computers playing video games all day and not used to human action at the grocery store. They gonna get them into like you just go in the store, you use your phone, come walk out, and then humans ain't gonna have no job. That's why I say, how we gonna get paid in the future? We going into a crazy world. Like right now in our lifetime, we about to travel into a whole like I was telling Kim and my girls, I said we don't even know we should be scared because we don't even know what money gonna be next year. We don't even know if money gonna be Bitcoin next year or our money. We should be very scared because we don't even know what money gonna be next year.
Yeah, man. I'll let me. Yeah, man. I think that's that's a good important point. That yeah, what is pushing out a lot of employees? Look, I don't think people should be going to work for working for slave wages, man. Or I won't call them slave wages, for low cost wages, man. I think that that is the crux of our issue within the black community, man. Is that we black people have worked at a lower wage for so long. You're talking, the better part of 60 years where black people, have worked low wages. So people shouldn't be going back to work unless people pay them. That's just what it is. And yeah, like automation has been going on for again since the 80s. They've been trying to figure out, or not figuring out, because well, not since the 80s. I mean, it's been going on since Eli Whitney created the cotton gin. You know what I'm saying? When Eli Whitney created the cotton gin, you know what I'm saying? That pushed a lot of enslaved, people out of a job, and they had to repurpose a lot of the enslaved people. You know what I'm saying? So it's been going on for a long time. But to try to bring in what everybody was saying is that Carlos, you're right, man. Like, black people had to care, man. You know what I mean? Had to support, you know what I'm saying? It's something that we talk about all the time, me and John, and my brothers, we talk about all the time, is that, when it comes to doing things like this, it should be, there shouldn't be just one Roland Martin. There should be a Roland Martin, you know what I mean, in each state. There should be Roland Martin. There should be this conversation that's going on, you know what I mean? And there should be shared support, you know what I mean, amongst everybody. Like, black, America needs to see this. 4 black men talking about economics, or 4 black men talking about black culture and black community, because we've been reduced again to one person only, talking for the black community. You know what I'm saying? And our issues and everything is multifaceted. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just between y'all 3, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, participate in stocks, business owner, flip houses, you know what I'm saying, in the military, and a military veteran myself. So we're a big, diverse community that can actually comment, but we get reduced to criminality. We get reduced to being poor, which the majority of us aren't poor. I forget what the percentage is, but it's in like the 60s or something. The majority of us don't meet the qualification of being quote unquote poor. And so on and so forth. So, so we have to be deliberate in being positive, man. We gotta be black positive, man. We gotta, support, each other, any way that we can. What's up, brother?
Now, think about this. Let me tell you how bad it is for black on black and white going against us. I'm gonna tell you 2 things, and I want y'all to look it up if you want to. I was on watching Amazon last night, and I was watching a PBS part on Amazon, and it was about Charlie Pride. The country black country singer,
black country singer. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now listen to this. Let me tell you, in 1970, I think it was 1979.
Mm-hmm.
You need to watch it, brothers. You need to watch it. You realize, let me tell you how embedded the fabric of racism is between blacks and whites, as well as black and black. Don't you know Dolly Parton came up and gave Charlie Pride a hug? My wife's here, she'll tell you. Charlie Pride a hug, just a hug, and congratulated him. They canceled all of her shows because she hugged a black man in 79.
Wow.
Now, I want you to really fathom this, and I was born in 76. Now, we go back further than that. I want you to realize what the fabric is in this America we're in from now until then. I want you to realize that when in the Constitution, we still considered as black men half human. You know that, right?
3/5. I thought they got rid of that
No,
they canceled it out. Yeah,
they canceled it out.
The 15th Amendment.
Yeah, but think about it. I want you to think about the 14th and the 15th Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
You realize they can always go back to it, just like our voting rights.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing them attacking the voting rights. I'm sorry, Brian. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
He was right. No, I was just adding to him. Like they keep pushing. Like Congress and them was supposed to go talk, like rewrite that law, but they keep pushing it back.
Right.
Like our 3/4. So they can. it still can be used if they want to, because they didn't null and void the
Right.
law. It's still in Congress for
Right, and
what's
you're
it?
absolutely
Like, go
right.
ahead.
You're absolutely right. Always remember, we're deemed to repeat ourselves as black on black crime or black and white. We're deemed to repeat ourselves if we don't be careful, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Watch what I tell you. We redeeming. We have to learn to stay the conscious of this. Like I told you before, this panel right here of four brothers, four black brothers, and I say it again, four black brothers. If I sit up here and me, you, Young, and the other two brothers up there start talking, yeah, it's no reason y'all should have 1,000 people up here asking y'all 1,000 questions about our culture. But guess what? You will go to another culture like white people, and they'll tell you about their culture because all they limited to is Malcolm X, Martin Luther King,
Rosa Parks.
and Rosa Parks. Them the three they go to.
And,
They don't know
and
what happened.
Obama. And Obama.
They're not. We always keep in mind. And think about this. Look at the Planned Parenthood when how they talk about black people. They never bring it up about how she said that we need to be, casted out and we're diseases and stuff like that from Planned Parenthood. Margaret Singer. Look at Mahatma Gandhi that Martin Luther King with that nonviolence. He said we need to be cut down like weeds. But you praised this man with the nonviolence, but he wanted to kill y'all ass.
Yeah.
What is wrong with us? What the
Well,
hell is wrong with
well, like I say, man, a lot of it goes to, people need to read Carter G. Woodson, Miseducation of a Negro.
Right.
He wrote the book in 1930, and it still applies today. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is that a lot of our history that we learn, it doesn't come from us. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't come from people that look like us. So, we have to go back and we have to relearn history. We have to relearn economics, from people like us, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature, you know what I mean? What's up? Yeah. I mean, CRT, like the whole argument with the CRT, right? And I was thinking of this, man. I was thinking of this, right? So when you look back on America, right? When America wanted to indoctrinate or get other ethnic groups to assimilate, and I'm specifically speaking of indigenous peoples and the Hawaiians, right? People need to research and look up Hawaii. What they did was they didn't do they did it through two mechanisms, through religion, and they did it through education. You know what I'm saying? They took away Hawaiians' language, they took away their religion, and they did all this through education. You know what I'm saying? The whole CRT movement is doing the same thing to black people, right? They can't take away our religion because we practice the same religion, you know what I'm saying, virtually, you know what I'm saying? So how else do you take away, or try to make black people assimilate? Well, you start by going to education, you know what I'm saying? And you start by taking away or putting in books that, enslaved people were happy, they were immigrants. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk about the KKK properly. You don't talk about the 14th Amendment properly. You don't even mention that, African Americans are an ethnic group. You know what I'm saying? And on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? You write laws to take all of that away. Any mention of race gets taken out. You know what I'm saying? So, it's pretty fascinating. But I want to get into this. Go ahead, Brian. I'm gonna give you the last comment, and then I'm gonna get into this Waka Flocka video. Go ahead.
No. I'm just adding. I'm adding to your thing. The first sign of war is anthropology. Like, they'll come view you from afar, then they'll come get it, like do something to get involved into your community. Then they'll take over your community. They did that multiple times with multiple cultures. And that's what, and then with history, why I say the media and stuff, because what's the oil typhoon?
What are you talking about? Like, which one? Yeah, which one? There's a bunch of them. You talking about you talking
it's
about
on my tongue.
Talking about
Like
Rockefeller?
Rockefeller. He funded the educational panel and how we got our education today. Like, he funded the educational thing, like for schools to get his money. They had to put one of his board members on their board, and he had to see your educational curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he ain't like it, you had to change it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like things are not new. These things are 100-year increments that's still in effect. Like they've been doing for a long time. And that's why I say add to what you said.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say. I guess I had to lack comment. But the thing about it, you know what I mean, and what David Banner's saying that look, we got to be deliberate. You know what I mean? We need black teachers, black male teachers at that. We need people, whether people like it or not. We need police officers that are coming from these communities and going back into the communities. You know what I mean? We need, all politics are local. Again, there's another. I'm trying to get hooked up with a brother from Detroit who always talk about something that we talk about, John, about how black people only want to show up for the Super Bowl of elections. You know what I'm saying? And not voting for your sheriff, not voting for, your mayor, not voting for, your superintendent and all these other things, that are directly connected to what David Banner is saying, and how black people have to be deliberate within the community, you know what I'm saying? Not just with voting, but just with everything. But yeah, let me play this video. Los, all right, you want to stay for this last one? You don't have to, brother. I appreciate you coming on, man. Okay, all right. Let me play this Waka Flakka, and he's talking about the same thing that you're talking about with education. So let me play this and hold on. Let me see. Let me redo this because I'll be forgetting that I gotta share audio on this thing, and then. Which one is this? Okay. All right.
So what's the first step to financial literacy? What if you like 15, 16? What can the young ones do out there to get right? The first step.
First step. 15, 16.
Which you would teach your young one or a little one.
Keep it right in school. Teach them taxes, credit. That's the first thing I teach them right there. Taxes and credit.
Taxes and credit.
Yeah, makes sense.
I ain't learned none of that till I was 24.
You learned it before me.
And I ain't fully learned credit till I was 28.
Yeah.
And I'm 33. You see what I'm saying? Like, so.
But what if you're a street? Because street niggas deal with a lot of cash. So what would you say to somebody in the streets?
Like, I ain't got that for the promote lingerie, goddamn.
No, not like that. I'm just saying.
But for me to you,
he said publicly.
Hey, real nigga gotta slap himself. Hey, nah, serious though. But for me to you, man, you gotta have an end goal. You gotta have that number like, hey, look, shit, when I get to the 50 ball, I'm finna go buy me a house. ASAP, boom. You get a house, you can buy a house that's probably for like $34,000. You see what I'm saying? You got $16,000 left. Say for instance, you got a 700 credit score. Go straight to the bank and get a rehab loan. Rehab meaning they can help you fix this house up, and you'll pay them back in due time with interest on top of that. Or you go get a fix and flip loan, meaning y'all front me the money to fix this, and I bust this check down when we flip it. And what you make with that money, you do it again. Then on the third time, you do 2 houses. Then you do it 2 more times. On the 5th time, you get 3 houses. You know what I'm saying? You got to work it. It's just like a truck.
All right. That's Waka Flakka, man. And he said a lot of things, like something that we talk about with education, man. Our education system needs to change. We've been teaching education the same way for like 150 years. And it doesn't prepare, our young people for the future, man. It doesn't prepare them for, the world that's ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Brian, yeah, man, I'm gonna start with you, man. What do we think about what Waka Flakka said?
I think it's smart. I think we need to take education outside of the outside of school, the education system, and start funding our own organizations that help our own people. Because like I said, the Rockefellers put money into education. they never meant to make business owners. They only wanted workers. That's all they wanted. That's what they ain't want you to become smart business owner and then find out how to become how like them. They ain't want no more monopolies like they got like up there like that. So it's not intended for that. And for us to change our society, we gotta start doing our own work, like getting an organization that helps people learn about credit, taxes, that they can come and come to free or little to no money, that they can come learn how to do things, and then we send them back into their life that they can utilize that. And that's what I'm saying.
All right, go ahead, John.
Yeah, man. Look, our education system, it's a joke. Say that like I only way you can really sum it up, it's a joke. I was learning taxes in high school, but by the time I got out of taxes, out of high school, since I only did it for, I think it was just a year, like it was gone. But I also had the mindset of pretty much what's in our culture. Man, that ain't gonna matter anyway. Not realizing that was a tool to learn to itemize, to learn to, find how can you utilize taxes to take away your tax burdens, because that's where your wealth is at. Your wealth is actually in lowering your tax burdens.
Now, what was that? What does that mean when you say lower your tax burden?
So, how people, that go to work every day, they don't understand is that the government rely on you paying taxes every year, right? But you as an individual have to understand that you are giving out money or a loan without interest. So for you, if you were a company, that would be really bad business. That wouldn't be how you would operate to make money or sustain. So if you chose to do that as a business, you would want to give out the least amount as you can. And that is lowering your burden. The point is you have to learn to give out the least amount as you can, because how our government function, it doesn't spend the money properly. That it's an investment that you will gain off of.
Okay. Los, I know you're a business owner out there, man. What do you think about what Waka Flakka said, man?
Okay, I want y'all to think like this. Two things, like you said, and I agree with what both of the brothers said up top. I agree with them 100%. But also remember this: when we all went to school, like the brothers were saying, we didn't learn this. We didn't learn it. You know what we learned? Like you said, math, reading, whatever, writing, whatever. They didn't tell you to ask yourself why. Think about it. Remember how Waka Flakka was talking? You see how he was talking in a sense of, well, we got to bust this down. We got, number one, we got to speak like they speak.
Right.
We got to educate to us. Like you said, we got to go outside of it. Think about this. Like my brother said, I think his name Brian, right?
Yeah.
Think about this, Brian, what you just said. I want you to think about, as a business owner or as you're doing houses or whatever, think about this. The government, there are smart people in the government. They think tanks. Think about this. I want you to think about this. And I had to think about it when y'all was talking. Stop paying taxes and what'll happen?
They got an army behind that.
Bro,
No,
yeah, it'd be somebody busting on your door.
If you say you own your house, people argue with that. I worked hard for this. This is my granddaddy's land. Okay, then stop paying your taxes. Guess what? You still renting just like you renting an apartment till you die. Stop paying taxes on your house. They coming to get that shit, right? Stop putting keep no expired tags on your car. You ain't driving no damn well, right?
Mm-hmm.
We already, when you're young, they don't teach you how to balance a checkbook. They don't teach you what's the next investment. Like you said, they don't teach you any of that, but they'll teach you how to read and write. Though that's not the problem. Is not reading and writing. Is like you said, we got to step outside of the box and look what the Black Panthers did in their community. They taught their own people.
Yeah.
The Black Panthers taught them. Remember, they was educating the young black kids on how to budget, how to educate their own people. I want you to think about that. Remember that when the cop watching was going on and all of this other stuff back in California and Chicago with the Black Keystone Rangers, they was all doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to understand that all of this, what they saying about you balancing the checkbook and stuff, that's all fine and dandy. But I want people to remember this. Tell the people in school, hey, realize you're going to have to balance checkbooks and everything, but you won't own anything for the rest of your life. Right or wrong, stop paying taxes on your houses, brother, and see what happens. Stop getting your driver's license renewed every couple of years and see what happens. You ain't going no damn way with the car. You ain't gonna take all that.
Hold on, let me go ahead, John. You just gonna use about
to Carlos' point. So how are they? What you're saying? What would be the remedy, or what should you do if you find yourself agreeing with that line, and you make those steps to do that, right?
Right.
Like in society, what would be the manner that you will go about that you don't find yourself in any harm's way?
Well, John. I mean, Brian, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because when I'm running a business and then I also teach sometimes on how to make money, it's hard. You know why? Because it's a trap within a trap. We teach ourselves, or we saying that we teach our brothers and sisters on how to balance a checkbook, how to do credit, how to raise your credit. Okay, you got all the good credit you want. I want you to think how backwards America is. You telling me that I can have $1 billion in the bank, but I still need credit to pay for something? Think about it now. Unless you pay for it outright, you ain't bidding no credit if you pay for it outright.
Yeah, the credit. I think it's a double-edged sword, right? Because you have to participate in the system that you're given, right?
Right.
You have to. So the system is, hey, man, you're gonna pay taxes. That's just what it is. And although I disagree, with home ownership, I've come around because I used to believe that, like, if you're paying a mortgage, you don't own your home, but really. You do own your home because you get to use the equity, in that home. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
Now,
you're right about that.
Yeah.
You're right about that too. But I'm saying stop paying taxes if you, and I see where you're going with this, and you're right. But I want you, me, and these other brothers that own houses and cars and stuff, stop paying taxes and paying insurance on it and see what happens.
I mean, they're gonna come get it, but the thing is that what Waka Flakka is saying is that we have to reimagine our schools, man. But part of that again is our community participating in reimagining the schools. You can't reimagine the schools if you're not out. If you're only voting, the only way you do it if you're only voting during presidential years, those off years and those votes that are in between, that if you get a superintendent in there that's willing to create schools with STEM programs, or talk to the mayor to get money to start charter schools, one of the things that the people on the right like to talk about is school choice. My issue with school choice is that a lot of these school choice these schools that they're talking about, they just want to use them as indoctrination factories to indoctrinate them into a right wing way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like what Brian was saying, I want to bring Brian in. To talk about is that the way that Rockefeller was using money for school and it, you know, and he has some influence, you know what I'm saying. But I just want to ask you, you know what I'm saying, like, how do we take? Let's go back to the census, right? Because the census says that, you know, that, you know, black people are growing again. Even though it said we're 14%, I still think we're somewhere around 17, 18% because there's a huge number of us who did not take the census. You know what I mean? Because we have an adversarial issue with the government. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean, how do we, Brian, this to you, how do we take, you know what I mean, how do we take, things like, hey, people are coming back to the South and we can build a coalition or build, you know what I mean, opportunities in our community. How do we take that and create, these things like Waka Flocka is saying, create these opportunities so people can learn, all of these about finance and things of that nature.
Because like you said about voting, and people need to learn that about the local voting, and that got to do with education, because people don't know. We don't know, so we got to educate the people that don't know, and I think we got to take from the different things that did work, because it's a lot of things in, like, people. I hate when black people say we can't work together, because we can. We got shown that a lot of times that we work together, but it wasn't us that brought it down. It was the government that destroyed it. That we worked together. It's a bunch of like bunch of little towns that had a lot of money and doing a lot of things. And I think we need to take from them little things and add it to today's thing, and we work on it and see where they messed up at, and see where we need to grow at, and take what worked from there and re-add it back into the thing, like help sponsor. Like, that's why I say in everything we need our own media. We need our own media. Not like a media company like BET, but owned by other people. And BET don't have no news. We don't learn nothing on news. We don't have no news on BET. Like
There is the Black News Channel out there though.
Yeah, but it's not like BET was a good thing, because you had rap, and then right after rap, it'll lead you right into the news. So if you left the TV on, you'd have heard something.
No, it's not BET though. He's talking about the Black Network.
Yeah, Black News Channel.
No. I know what he's talking about, but I said why BT was good, because it went from, like, when they had their news, they had music right before that, then it would go off the air, then the news would come on, and then if you the remote wasn't close enough, you might just hear something like, hold up, that intrigued me. You know what I'm saying? And so it keeps the people that was there for one thing, now you ain't there for another thing. So, like, and that's how we gotta get our people. The people that we need to change, that don't watch this stuff. We need to lure them into that. You know what I'm saying? We can't, just like my man said, we can't look down on them. We gotta find out how to lure them into this and get them there, because they might can get somebody that you can't get. You know what I'm saying? That, like I was saying a couple podcasts ago, like Lil Bootsy can get some people that what's the name, Roland Martin can't get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'm gonna ask John. Yeah, and I agree, man. Like, the message has to be tailored to the community that you're gonna speak to. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I think in today's day and age, people don't watch TV. Let's just put it that people don't sit down and watch TV. A lot of people do the streaming apps. You know what I'm saying? Cable news knows this, that, you know what I mean? In like 10 years, nobody's going to be turned on the TV, watch, to turn to, channel 6 or whatever, ABC. That's why you see all these streaming apps. So I'll ask John, so how do we get the message out there? You know what I mean? If that's the future, and it is, you know what I mean? And it is, how do we get that community message out there? You know what I'm saying?
Well, first and foremost, man, I'm going to tell y'all, I ain't twerking for nobody on here. Right? Not to get y'all views up. I ain't doing it.
Hey, we might need it to get the views up, man. We might need to get the views up, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
but all seriousness, man, like, Ooh, man. We literally got to attack just small numbers at a time. Because that's what that's what it aligns to when you look at like how our people is, and you gotta throw some ignorance in there, call it what it is.
Like Brian
Talking
was saying,
about
you got to
some,
add that jingle.
yeah, and you start buck dancing a little bit,
Yeah.
because our people like the buck dancing,
Mhm.
but that's just what it is.
Mhm.
We like buck dancing. We like all of that just nonsense
Mhm.
intertwined with just a sprinkle of information.
Mhm.
It ain't no way to really fix that, because as you see, as we get more educated in society, and black folks, black women are the most educated group on the goddamn planet.
Mhm.
And then you see black men, like they're climbing in education
Mhm.
at a rate that no other group is. You know what I'm saying? So so education isn't making people want to find more educated things about their own group or their community. So I just think you got to spoon feed us. I think you got to connect with other smaller groups, and even if it's 5 people, you talk to those 5 people. If it's 2, you talk to those 2. I think that's the only way that you're going to be able to get this message out, and you just have to keep on pounding the dirt and keep going.
Yeah, and I think that's something interesting. I'm gonna ask you this, Carlos, because you brought this up, and the same thing that John's saying, that JY is saying, is that it is what we're doing here. There should be other people doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you, Carlos, are out there, and you out there doing you're out there doing defense training classes. You know what I'm saying? There should be other people, black people, supporting your defense training classes before they go anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? They come to you first, like, hey, Los, you got a defense training class. What's your training classes about? You know what I'm saying? And I think that this whole conversation that we're talking about is that we don't, as a community, we have we don't go to find, we don't go find black businesses. We don't go find black information. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it has to come to us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got excuses. That's what it's called. It's called excuses. It's called excuses. That's what it is. I mean, I just narrowed it down for you. It's called excuses. It's just what it is. If we, like I told you, us 4 brothers right here are educated. You know what I'm saying? We are educated. We have businesses. We have, like you said, a housing market on here. We have stuff to bring to the table. Why should you not at least have 100 to 200 people watching you guys? I just said that. So that's the question now. Because guess what? You know why? Because you ain't got Cardi B on your thing. You ain't got the WAP or whatever the hell they call it. They don't want to listen to no Lauryn Hill. What's Lauryn Hill? No, they want to hear WAP and Cardi B and Migos. Lauryn Hill and Emma, man, that's ding of the past because they talking about something. So why would I want to listen to these 4 brothers talk about how to better our people, where I can sit up here and have Meg the Stallion that has a degree in Texas, has a degree, and she can shake her butt? Why would I want to listen to 4 brothers that's trying to make a difference, and I can watch Meg the Stallion jump up and down and make thought music?
There's a lot of rappers who got degrees and they talking about drugs, selling drugs.
Come on now. I mean, think about it. You got 4 brothers on a panel, and you telling me y'all on what episode 7 I'm looking at, and you telling me 100 to 200 people can't sit in here and sit with the great minds that we have with black people? It's excuses. What? It's all excuses. Tay, tell me right now, who's the brother that's up top right here that owns houses? Who got houses up here?
Oh yeah, you got my brother. I brought you in so fast, Los.
Yeah,
that I didn't even introduce you. It's my brother JY up here to your left, and then my brother BY to
Okay,
your right.
BY. BY, what you do for a living?
I drive trucks and I'm
Okay,
into like
so
But he's into like stocks and
right, yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
housing
So you telling
and
me,
Bitcoin,
so
all that stuff.
but
Yeah, he
that's
does
what
a
I'm
lot.
saying. Look,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't know nothing about Bitcoin, driving trucks, having a fleet, who I go to? I go to that brother right there and say, help me out.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
If I want to do something about some houses, brother, how do you flip houses and how do you make money? I'm in Florida, you up there, help me out.
Mm-hmm.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But you don't see that on here. But if I tell you Meg the Stallion's gonna be on here, y'all flood the industry.
That's true, man.
But see,
That's
and
true,
that's
man.
the problem we're having. If I want to know about truck driving, Bitcoin, flipping homes, anything, I'm coming to people that's in that industry. We don't
Mm-hmm.
do that. But if I tell you right now, hey, tune up. You'll have it plastered all over y'all's podcast. Meg Thee Stallion gonna be on here tonight. You will crash the internet, and she won't talk about shit.
Man, Carlos, man, we should that actually should be a study point for us.
She
Try
won't learn shit. What you gonna learn? Tell me what you gonna learn about Megan Thee Stallion. Like I said, I'm sorry guys, because I get passionate about it. It's just to tell me what Megan Thee Stallion is gonna teach you right now. Somebody tell me right now.
no, so the point that I was chiming in about was the fact that you said if you said that you had Megan Thee Stallion on here, that people will then flock and see. So I want to test the theory.
Yeah,
So
we
that's
should.
what I want. I want
We
to
should.
test the theory
We should.
because every time I talk to us as a group out in public, I am told one or two things. Man, here you go again. Or, oh man, JY on his shit. And I'm just like, but this is on topic of what you just was talking about. I'm just filling you in on the knowledge of it. You know what I'm saying? And or the other comment is, man, I don't know how you sit back and waste your time talking about this stuff. It's exhausting. What do you mean? I think racism, I think fascism, I think the government making policies against me so I don't get ahead. I think that's more exhausting than me talking about it. What's up, Big?
Black people do not like scary stuff, man. Like even in our
Yes,
churches, even
yes,
even in our churches, we don't even talk about Revelation. You know why? Because it scares black people, and they don't give money when you scare them. When you scare black people, they don't give money. So
yes.
you gotta talk about prosperity and different things that make people want to sow
Hey,
their.
that's my dog right there. That is my dog up top. He
Like,
said
I'm
the
saying,
truth.
it's
He
scary.
told the truth. We some scary ass folks.
Yeah, we don't like when you say anything that's scary to black people, they don't want to talk about it. They don't even want to think about it, and that's the thing that's forming us.
And that's facts. That's 100% facts. I'm with him 100% on that because guess what? When the truth is in your face like that, and I'm gonna agree 100%, that they don't want to hear the truth. But that's what I said. You want to test that theory, my brother? Put a local celebrity where y'all let on. Put a girl on there with a low cut shirt on, with a bra on, and I guarantee you your rate to go up. Because guess what? And guess what? Now add the same topic to her with lip gloss and them damn long ass eyelashes. You gonna start getting more views. They don't want to see four educated brothers on here talking about the real stuff.
Yeah,
Why would
man.
they want that? Why would they want that, Tay? Why would they want that? You got four educated brothers that can get you ahead in life, but instead they rather listen, like I said, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. They rather listen to Migos. They rather listen to the baby, the little baby. They rather listen to all them and tell you how to be in the trap and everything, and got kids following them compared to four brilliant brothers right here. What is wrong with us?
Yeah, man. I think it's just like you're saying, man. It's what people go find, man. And people don't understand how algorithms work. You know what I'm saying? So if you spend your time searching for certain things, that's what's going to pop up in your Instagram. That's what's going to pop up in your YouTube. And a lot of companies like Twitter, they do Twitter and YouTube, and they do and Facebook. They do their algorithm is such to where it promotes a lot of things that you search, man. That's just what it is, man. I don't even use Instagram a lot, and then I'd go do the search thing, and it's like, oh, here's these videos since you search for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is this crap? You know what I mean? Like, what is any of this stuff, man? So, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man. But fellas, we going on hour 45. So I just want to put out, last comments, man. I appreciate all y'all, man, all you brothers, for showing up. Los, I appreciate you showing up at the last minute, brother. But you are going to come back on the show. We are going to have you back, man. But I just want to put out final comments for you brothers, man. I'm gonna start up there with John, man. Then we go Brian, and then we go Los, since Los the guest.
Man, we say this every episode. Man, be intentional, man. We say this every episode, man. Be intentional. I don't know how many times we can sit back and express this. Is that at the end of the day, the reason why that when you watch your family economically and they're not getting forward and you are finding harder ways to get forward is because you are not being intentional with what your blackness is, neither is your family. This is the thing. You have to vote that way. You have to show up every election. You have to get your family to show up every election. You have to sit back and take your money. Yeah, you can't sit back and shop at black businesses 100%. Okay, that's fine. Make some exceptions. Try your best and do so. And I'm speaking to the choir, and I'm speaking for myself as well. That I need to be intentional as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Brian.
Last words. Shit is about to get real. So read more, save more. Learn the old culture of growing your own stuff and doing for self, and getting back into your community and helping your community. That's what I want to leave with y'all.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Brother Los.
Keep in mind, entertainers are not black leaders. Entertainers are not black damn leaders. Leave the bullshit behind. Teach. These are the leaders right now. These brothers right here. You, and me. We're the leaders because we're going to tell them the truth. If they want to have entertainers as leaders, they're going to sit up here and follow the entertainers. Entertainers are not leaders. That's my biggest point right now. Entertainers are not leaders, and go to your local officials and fight for what you want. Give them hell.
Yeah.
Give them hell. That's all you got to do is go down there.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Entertainers ain't it, and go down to your local officials and fight for your local causes.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Nice to meet you, Carlos. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, man. So, hey, this is my dog, man. This is my brother right here, man. Los, and I'm most definitely gonna have him on. I'm gonna shoot him something, and we gonna be on. He gonna be on to talk more about.
Hey, I just met you, brother. Hey, I love you, brothers. My truck driving brother, my Bitcoin brother. I need help on my shit. And I need you to back me up on it. But you see how I act? I needed your help.
Yeah.
I didn't sit up here and say, I can find out that on YouTube. YouTube ain't going to help me like you're going to help.
Yeah.
That's the problem we're having right now.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Go ahead, Brian. You good, Los? You good? Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
Nah, just tell them, shoot me an email. Not email me. Shoot me follow me on Facebook or whatever. I'll hit you up or give me my number or whatever.
Yeah, that goes for you. That goes for houses. You see how we work together. If we work together like this and put our money where our mouth is, black people could strive.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I ask. Black people can strive, but as long as we got people that's got way more money than us, that can flash more money than us, and that can do the most stupidest shit more money than us, we're gonna lose every time because we're not in that tax bracket. You don't have nobody on here has $100 million in their bank account to move stuff the way we need it to move.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done now. I'm done.
You good, man. Man, one of the things that Los does, man, he does defense classes for women, man. It's pretty dope, man. What he does. Yeah. He does defense class, and he's willing to travel. He'll travel, man. So and doing that stuff, man. And also he's a big 2A guy. So that's why I wanted to have him on. I want to have him on for a conversation. I was going to send him a message actually for our for a show in September to talk about black gun ownership. So I'm gonna still send that message, Lou. So you just tell me the time. Actually, I did send you a message, and I just said you just said let you know a time.
Yeah.
I'll let you know a time. But I appreciate you, Los. I appreciate you coming in, brother. Go ahead, bro.
Los, do you think we should start our own NRA kind of thing?
Right now, the way it's setting right now, I would say no. And the reason I say no, because right now we're targeted by the police. When we put together our own gun group to show them how gun safety and how the laws go, we go from being a gun group to now it's a bunch of black people that's turning militia.
Yeah. You're right.
You see what I'm saying? That's where it's going right now, because if I put a gun group together right now for our black people, even though I'm teaching them gun safety and the laws that they're not teaching us to get out of things, they're going to call us a black militia group. You know how it is. When we do something positive, they're going to try to make it negative. So why? So right now, I said, I'm going to sit back on it. My wife asked me about it. I sit back on it because I said, I want to see how this goes. Because always remember this, when Biden was in office, he didn't think about us first, but we gave him the votes and he thought about the Asians first before us.
Yeah.
Think about it now. He as soon as he came into office, what did he do? He signed the damn anti-terrorist act bill for Asians. Anybody do it is a federal offense. But yet it's still black.
So let me. I got correct stuff. It was the anti hate. It was related to COVID related, but it wasn't just for Asians. So if you read the bill, it was because the attacks would happen on Asians, right? So if you read the bill, it's for everybody. And I try to explain this to people the same way that the Civil Rights Act was not just for black. Hold on.
I stand correct.
Yeah, no, I just want to explain it to say how I explain to people with the Civil Rights Act. The Civil Rights Act was not just for black people, because you can't write laws specifically for a group because of the 15th Amendment.
Right.
So when they wrote the Civil Rights Act, it was because of black people. But the Civil Rights Act was for black people. So, I can't.
I stand corrected, brother. I stand corrected.
Nah, yeah, it's all good, man. I seen that stuff in the Twitter Spaces, man. Yeah.
But I'm doing this. I'm doing this in a way so y'all understand. I mean, y'all already understand. It's the fact that you see how if I messed up on something, I didn't get offended by anything. Black people tend to do that to other black people.
Oh no, that's facts, man. That's facts, man. That's facts, man. Instead of being understand. Right, instead of learning from it and coming from a place of love at a lot of times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I respect it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. What you say, John?
No, just saying in our community, man, a lot of the fight or flight, shutting down and stuff like that. For me, we need to grow up. Grow up and learn to have tough conversations and just answer the question in a positive way to propel the conversation forward.
Right.
Not try to, I'm going to shut down. Then, I don't want to hear what you got to say. Then I'm going to be defensive. It just
start calling you names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It
doesn't do anything, man. Yeah. Like saying, man, I'm too old to sit here and be having like, I just want to have a conversation with you, brother, man. That's it,
That's
man.
it.
And you don't have to be black for me to sit here and talk to you in the same way that we're talking. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to raise my voice or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Just, I just have to educate you. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was having a conversation with the white dude who brought up the KKK and Black Lives Matter. I just couldn't let him walk away thinking that what he said was correct. You know what I'm saying? So I needed him to take that information and go back into his own, community and do that. But hey, man, hey, look, man, lively conversation. Los, I appreciate you, brother. We'll schedule a date for next month. Just shoot me when you got time, brother. Because we'll talk about because I do want to talk about black gun ownership, because there is an increase in the number of black gun ownership, and that number is it is just going up. It's skyrocketing. Brian, you had something?
Nah, I just said I got my concealed carry.
Oh, okay, yeah. That number's going up. So I do want to talk about that stuff. So, do want to chat about that. But hey, I appreciate you, brothers. Love you, brothers. My final comment for Yah'm saying is, hey, man, if you guys out there listen to us, support us, man. Find us on YouTube. Find us on and Spotify. Find us on. There's one more. Find us out there. We're out there. I can't remember all of them. All right, we're out there. All right. So find us, support us. You know what I'm saying? And be deliberate in supporting black businesses, as we're saying. Be deliberate in supporting the black community. Be deliberate in being black positive. Don't let anybody try to dim your light or make you feel that you can't be positive about the black community, man. And also make sure we're showing up, voting. Everything is local, man. Everything is local. We lost power because we stopped voting locally. So we have to regain that power back, man. But this is Yah'm saying, and we out of here, man. Y'all have a great week. Peace.
Peace.